All right, good morning. Hope you're all having a great start to your day. Today's Monday, July 12th, 2021. We'll go ahead and get started, touch up on the overall market, go over our economic data, and get right into our main watch list. So I hope you guys are starting your day right, getting your psychology in the right spot. Now, if you're watching /ES into this morning and actually watching the American indices overall, we're actually seeing some consolidation after a massive move on Friday. We've been seeing record highs. We actually saw S&P break out and actually reclaim a new all-time high. And we did see some weakness again, 43.65. We did see some weakness in the overnight session. European session specifically is actually very, very quiet. It's under pressure considering that COVID variant is going around over there. So the cases are rising. So that's something we're keeping a lookout. Asian indices looking real good, ended in the green. So the overall market is looking kind of neutral. Now, we do know this week gets a little critical. So if you look into the economic calendar, we do have a few things going on. So we do have, first of all, into today, John Williams speaks at 9:30. So that's not until a few minutes until open, 30 minutes. We got, what time is it? 9:03. So we got about 27 minutes on that. For the rest of the day, nothing going on. But into tomorrow, you start getting those CPI numbers rolled out at 8:30 a.m. And that gets a little hectic as we approach that Wednesday because we do have Powell speaking. Note that out. Powell speaks at 2 p.m. Eastern. And usually you get a choppy week when Powell speaks. So it's very, very important. I'm going to go ahead and tag the calendar here for you guys again. Did send it in the room, but for the people that weren't with us yesterday, I'm going to resending it right now for you guys so it's easier. Again, it's right on the trading floor as we're speaking. Cool. So for you guys to look at it again, Powell's a 2-day event. It's not a 1-day event. So he speaks on Wednesday at 12, and he also speaks on Thursday at 9:30 a.m. We do get a lot of economic data, jobless claims, and the Fed manufacturing index, as well as import and export prices. So we do have a few things on watch as we get closer throughout the week. And Friday we have John Williams speaking at 9 a.m. All right. So hope you guys are having a fantastic start to your day. Now let's get into the levels on /ES if you're watching it over here. 43.50, guys. At 43.50, very critical level. Been watching right now. Actually, we're using that level about give or take 8 handles to the downside, 10 handles. So your primary support is 43.40. 43.50 is kind of your neutral range or your, I want to say a new key level right now or a pivot where you're using it as a support, aka resistance. If we can rally over that 43.50, we'll push and retest that all-time high at 43.65. So it's very straightforward over that 43.50, about 15 handles. If you take out the all-time high, look for 10 handle move to that 43.75. All right, so watching where the market is, again, we actually did retest that low at 43.40. You guys can see they actually bought that bounce to 43.60 right now. So we'll see where the market opens up. But again, for directional moves, either wait for a confirmation move over that 43.65, let it take out the all-time high for a 10 handle move on the overall market. You could trade SPY, again, for the people that are hearing the /ES levels. It's the same levels for SPY. So if you're watching SPY at that 435, excuse me, all-time high is 436.31. So it does take it out on /ES. You could trade SPY on the side for a 10 handle move, SPY for a full point, /ES for a 10 handle move, and take your time on the market because again, we have been seeing every time we make a massive push to the upside, we see rejection. You can see what happened at that 43.65 prior in the overnight session. So take your time on the market and watch for that support. Now, I want to get a little bit more in detail. If you're watching 43.40 under that, there's 10 handles to the downside to 43.30. Okay, so very directional, very straightforward. Now, I'm going to touch up on the plays we have on watch into this morning. First of all is Amazon. And let me go ahead and send you guys Amazon levels. We'll be watching that 37.48. And also we'll watch where the entry is at 37.30. I'll touch up how to trade these levels in a second. But let me send it to you guys first. All right, so you guys have it. Now, let's get a little bit more in details. If you're watching Amazon here, 37.48, and as you guys can see, there's an 18-point range or an 18-point accumulation range. I'm not looking to trade between that, but I'll touch up on where the ideal entry is on Amazon. Now, if you're watching Amazon, let me just run one more thing here for you guys. Oh, cool. So if you're watching Amazon at that 37.40 right now in the pre-market session, we actually had about a 10-point, give or take 10, 15-point move. Again, stock was about 37.20. That's your PDC, previous day close. And you can see how you rallied off that level. Again, it did have a slight gap to the upside off that level, about 15 points. But I want to take a directional play or either to break and hold over 37.40 and just seeing already that rejection level. I'm not looking to play the breakout on that. I'll actually wait for a bounce trade, wait for a retest or a reverse back to primary resistance, aka which is primary support. That's resistance to price of close. I want to see a retest of that level as a support. And again, just knowing Amazon, it can carry some momentum and take out that 37.40 off the bat or 37.48. So take your time right now. I'll watch as it moves from 37.40 to 37.48, but I'm not looking to scalp the 8 point at open. Again, you can see the huge range on Amazon the moment it takes out 37.48. We have room for about 11 points, 37.59. That's the new all-time high. And you could catch another directional move, give or take, for about 15 points over that 37.60 or 37.59. So take your time on the market. And again, seeing Amazon, watching where the order flow is, I just did see that 37.40 level was a very, very important rejection. It rejected right at the open on Friday, rejected again multiple times, and it came for that retest. You could see it very obvious at 11:40 a.m. on a 5-minute time frame. So not looking to drain capital, drain myself at the open. And again, seeing this week that Powell speaks. So I'm looking at these quality plays right off the bat. If we can get a bounce trade at support 37.30, that's very, very ideal. And if it doesn't hold that, I'll be scalping the 10 point to the downside to 37.20. And at 37.20, again, this level is a very important demand zone. It can easily reverse that range. So if you're looking to take a directional play, if it gets to 37.20, that's ideal entry. But if it doesn't get there and there is momentum at the open, I'll be looking for that 37.48 break for some more upside to 37.59, 37.74, right? So that's Amazon. Again, consider triple R, risk reward ratio, upon all times. You want to be finding at least a 2-to-1 ratio, at least a 3-to-1 ratio. If it's not there, do not take on a trade, right? Ideal is 3-to-1. Some people look for that 2-to-1 ratio. Again, understand your triple R and understand what you're risking versus your reward. Very, very important, especially when you're trading these large premium names. Now, let's move a little bit more in depth from Amazon. Now, I'll be watching Netflix. Okay, we have about, give or take, 8 days or 9 days to earnings. That's not the reason we're watching Netflix. It's just I'm gonna send you guys this, and I'll also send you the DP level so you can see what I'm seeing here. So overhead resistance 540, very critical support is 536. Also, look at this dark pool notional value at that 374 million. Let me just send you the level here so you guys can see. If you are watching that 536 or 535.98 exactly throughout last week, this level actually has been accumulating about $374.7 million. It's been accumulating over time. It's not just the dark pool print for Friday, so you understand exactly what's going on. But this shows you that this specific area is very, very important. Let it be depending on where it is on the chart. Let it be in terms of demand or supply zone. And in this sense, we can see there's a lot of supply on Netflix to the upside. Now, if you did see the size of this DP print, you'll see there's about 699,000 in terms of size traded at that range. And also, let me send you one more thing here at 4:30 p.m. You can notice a dark pool print that came in at 197.28 million. Right, they were sizing 368,000 at 535.98. So it shows you the value behind that area, and understanding that this area is very, very huge, especially that we did see at the close them buying towards that range, and now we're almost over that range for about 2 to 3 points. So take your time on Netflix. We know that this can catch some momentum if it runs, but the reason why we're adding this is because we did see rejection at 538 multiple times. I was watching this throughout the week, and then seeing our notional value towards that range and seeing already where we are. If we can close over that 538, we can catch a really good move on Netflix. But ideal entry is always a bounce on Netflix, especially seeing that it had an exhaustion move in the pre-market session. So you don't want to go take a long. The stock already had almost a 3 to 4 point move. Let it come to you. Let it settle. Okay, let the demand zone kind of set in. Let the stock come pull back at support and start watching your order flow and confirm with the tape. Again, we always speak about tape confirming and telling the story. And upon entry, you can really catch a good directional move on this. Again, if it sets up, if it doesn't, we're not biased, right? If it comes to support at 536, doesn't hold support, then that's an invalid trade at that point. So I'm not going to be biased on it, but we'll look rather for that 534.50. And if it can't hold that, we'll start looking under for 532 and 528. So not really biased on this, but just seeing already the potential on this. If we can close over that 540, we can really catch another 4-point move or at least 3-point move for a scalp. And over that 544, when we get there, if we get there, We'll see the order flow. We can potentially move to 550. Just seeing the speculation move, and again, people just buying Netflix ahead of earnings can be a huge catalyst on this. And seeing the Disney Plus news again, the whole sector is getting some news into this morning. So take your time on this. Now, last thing I want to touch up on, because I know there's a lot of speculation. I guess a lot of people that are talking about SPCE. Again, we've been trading this since last Friday. Caught a move on it. Kind of removed it a little bit from the watch list midweek. And we did trade it again. But if you saw, again, the piece of news is rolled out. So looking at how to trade this, again, take your time on SPC. It's going to be a side watch, and it's mostly for the people that are going to be on voice. Primary support is at 48.50. Okay, so if you're watching primary support on SPC, it's 48.50. Right now, we're watching almost, as we get close to open, we got about 18 minutes. I see a bearish H pattern forming on the 5-minute. Again, not biased on SPCE just of yet. I want to see the order flow as we set up into the open, but this stock was up 10% pre-market, or about 7% a few hours ago, and right now it just erased all the gains back to PDC previous day close, so which is Friday. Again, we're coming back from the weekend, so take your time on this. But again, the support at 48.50 is very, very critical. If it breaks under that, I'll be looking for a quick point scalp to 47.50. So about $1.50. I'll look for that scalp to 47.10, 47.15 range, 47.20ish. And again, just understanding that level was a prior bounce zone or a prior support. So we're just literally trading the prior key levels from last week. If it comes to 48.50 and closes under, loses some momentum. And again, just seeing Powell's speech this week you might see some profit taking after the event. So we've been seeing this multiple times. They trade the hype, or they buy the hype and they sell the news. So this can be a classic event where we see that. Now, let me see. We have one of our good members, Sir Quant, asking about Tesla. So I'll run some Tesla real quick. Not going to drain the watch list just because it's at a level that we've traded before. If you watch that 666 on Tesla, look for a directional move. It's already in a 6-point accumulation range. So your 660 is support and your 666 is your resistance. If it breaks 660 to the downside, there's a 3-point scalp to 657. But ideal entry, if you're looking to take longs, is entry at 657. And again, we'll be watching the order flow at the open on Tesla as well. Sometimes you can catch really good moves on this second half of the day. I've just been seeing this, consolidate for longer periods of time, not have directional moves. So as you can see, we're not adding Tesla as much, but we're still keeping it on a side watch. If we get some pieces of news rolled out midday, I'll make sure to send it to you guys. We did have a piece of news that we actually did send to the team here. Let me just reread it for you guys real quick. You could see, that was the NEO piece. Elon Musk to testify in shareholder lawsuit over Tesla Solar City by today. And you can see the piece of news right now rolled out again in the pre-market session to testify in defense of $2.6 billion for Solar City buyout in 2016. So again, just a piece of news rolled out. I wouldn't say necessarily bearish or bullish, but for Tesla, it's not a primary watch just because for the high premiums, I'm focused on Amazon. And for more of an ideal entry or a bounce trade or a day trade, I'm looking at this Netflix move at 536. So again, if this sets up for your triple R risk reward ratio, make sure you're executing on the trade, making some money. And again, this is one of those weeks, if you do see a lot of uncertainty, you don't see trades setting up, it's totally fine, especially when Powell speaks. It gets a little draining. So cash is a position when you do have uncertainty throughout the market. And hope you guys have a great day. If you guys need me, feel free to DM me and let's make some money focusing on this high probability setups, in and out team. Let's make some money.